All right. Alright guys, I'm Steex, Audio Video Production. Today I'm gonna show you this new Fender Tone Master Pro modular pedalboard in worldwide preview. So I'm really happy and proud to show you this Tone Master Pro modular by Fender. And before start the review, I have to send a huge thanks to Lucky Music because they sent me this unit to try out. I had almost 2 days to try out this unit because tomorrow this will go back again to Lucky Music. So this video will be very long because I'll show you everything about this pedalboard. I'll show you also 3 presets that I have already created for this video and will be available for free on the cloud, because there is a cloud, there is also an editor that you can see here. I'll talk in a moment. But before jump into review, I wanna let you know that if you purchase this unit directly with the link in the description from the Lucky Music website, you will receive then a voucher, a coupon, a gift, whatever you want to call it, of value 100 euros to spend, so to use in the website of Lucky Music. So this is a great way. So if you want to purchase this unit and maybe you want to also use this unit with maybe another pedals, double pedals in the FX loop, you can purchase this for free basically because you have a 100 voucher to spend on Lucky Music. So thank you so much. You have the link in the description. Let's now start with a review of these really cool babies. It's not really a babies because it's really huge, let me say. It's heavy, it's thick, it's huge, but inside this basically you have everything and it sounds really good. So let's start saying that this is official by Fender, and inside you have a lot of official by Fender modeled amplifiers. Okay, so let's start introducing all about these Tone Master Pro. So as you can see, you have this giant screen and this is touch screen, and what I really like about this touch screen is that it's the first time that you have a display, so a screen with the real gear. So you can see, you see the pedals, you see the amplifier and also the GUI. You can understand what you are doing, which kind of gear you are using. So it's different from other brands that I don't want to mention, but you have basically some blocks, you have maybe some routing, some writing part, writing stuff, but you don't have this amazing GUI, and you can see basically what you are using. It's faster to understand what you are doing and also decide which kind of gear you want to use in your routing. Okay, it's all touchscreen, so if you want to move, press and move in the way that you want to create a routing as you want. For example, this compressor, if you want to move it here, okay, you want to move it back. As you can see now, the preset is red because it's telling me that has been modified. Okay, it's not more the original. So with the rotary here, I can go back and now it's blue. So it's telling me this is the preset that is saved. So as you can see here, you have the browser. It's also written presets. If you push, you have the jig view. So basically is written which kind of preset you are using. So you can scroll and see the preset that you want. You have already 95 presets already here. Some presets are complete. Some presets are, for example, for using with another amplifiers, so you can also control amplifiers with this one. Some presets are for the 4-cable methods with your amplifier, so you can also learn and understand how to make your routing from the presets. So this is really easy. You push and you have the gig view. If you put again, you have the preset view. Here you have the master knob. And as you can see, you can use for the master volume. This will be the master volume for the wall pedalboard. So will remain at the same volume. Even if you change the preset, this will remain at the same kind of value. Okay. Then if you push, you enter on the mixer. And here, as you can see, you can decide the different kind of volumes for the headphones, volumes for the outputs, or volumes for the USB. You can also, of course, record with the USB. But let's start introducing the features and all the connection. Okay, so the front panel, which is this one, you have the screen, you have two rotary knobs. These are clicked. You cannot listen because are really smooth, but are clicked. And then here you have 5 different switches. Super flexy, super smooth, there is no any click, really smooth, and these are also rotary. These are declicked, so you cannot listen, nothing. It basically is infinite rotary. Really well made. So here you can assign whatever kind of parameter you want. If you want the on off, if you want to control parameters, so changing the value of the parameter, you can do that. I'll show you in a moment. If you press this, you can change the visualization in the bank. So here you have bank up, a bank down, and here you have all the banks. So 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, and 96. Here, of course, always the tap tempo that is visualized also with the BPM. This is really great. And if you hold, you enter on the tuner. The tuner is really precise. You can, of course, decide if you want to use it with the mute. Okay, perfect. Then you can go back again. One thing that is really strange in my opinion is that, as you can see, the bank is ranked from the down, back down, to the bank up, because it's basically following the writing here, bank down and bank up. So when you go up, here you have the up. Basically, you have 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. If I go up, you have 97, 98. So it's strange that you have to start from the bottom and go up. But again, you have to understand and you have to feel this. So basically, after this, you will be able to control everything really fast. So I'm using this since 2 days basically, and I fully understand everything without reading the manual. So it's pretty easy and pretty stable. I really like that you can see also, you can also customize what you can see here. Not of course in the bank, because depending on the name of the presets, but if I go here, I can customize what I'm seeing here. I'll show you in a moment. Wait, there are lots of talk about. Talking about the connections, on the back panel you have lots of connection, guys. You can connect your instrument because you have the input of your instruments, for example bass, for example guitars, but you can also plug microphones and line level instruments. So you have both these, and you can also use together. I'll show you in a moment the routing. Then you have lots of effects loop. Let me see here, because here is basically written everything, so I can see better. Then you have 4 different effects loop that you can use in mono or in stereo. So it's really great, really flexible and versatile to connect whatever kind of pedals you want, or also rack, I don't know, up to you. Then you have the output. The outputs are both in XLR and in normal jack. You have also double output for the normal jack, so you have the output 1 and output 2. Of course, the ground loop. You have the aux in to maybe send some music if you want to jam along to the music. You have, of course, the phones. I've tested the phones with my Beyerdynamic DT770, which are 80 ohm headphones, and they sound pretty loud. So really great output for the phones. Of course, you have the expression pedal 1, expression pedal 2, the toe switch that you can control, of course, all the parameters, and the amp control. So you can send signal to real amplifier to change, of course, the channel of your amplifier. If you want to integrate these, for example, with your amplifier, you can do that. Micro SD, I do not really the purpose of this micro SD, but I think it's to load some impulse responses, because you can do that. I've seen the page. Of course, MIDI, input, output, or through, and the USB-C. The USB-C is basically useful to use with the editor, and also to update the firmware. So as soon as I received this Tone Master Pro, I had to update the firmware to the last version to use the, I don't know how to call it, editor, Tone Cloud, I don't know what to call it. Anyway, the editor of the Tone Master Pro. Actually, it's called Control app. Okay, and I really like the fact that here you have basically a jewel for the LED status of the on status of the pedal board. So in the red, you can see here, it's really, really great. So all about this pedal board is a luxury, because are really well made, in my opinion. I really like also the finish in this kind of gray sparkling finish. And let's jump now into the browser. So the browser is really simple, because here you have the name of the preset that you are using, the star if you want to set it as your favorite. So we'll go also in the favorite menu. You have the routing here, and on the bottom you have some settings that you can use it. The setting here is for the global setting. So let's go inside. As you can see, sorry, I'm just a bit asymmetrical. As you can see here, you have the global EQ. You can decide if you use the global EQ or not, so on and off. The auto display brightness, the display brightness that actually I'm at 17% because of the cameras, otherwise I've blown out everything, but it's super bright this. And if you move here, as you can see, it's moving accordingly also all the knobs and all the labels here. So as you can see, also that brightness is changing. So let's go again to 70%. It's okay. So my cameras can accept all this brightness. Factory reset and the about with the firmware that I'm using right now. So you can see that maybe if it's missing something is because the firmware is basically the firmware after the launch of the unit. Then you can of course save your presets. Let's go to the list view. And as you can see here, you have all the presets that you have inside here. My presets, then you have your favorite presets, only one for example. Then the factory presets, so whatever presets made by Fender, here you have a lot of. The cloud, because you can also use presets made by different users. You can download that, you can see here from the Tone Master Pro Control app. The song, because basically here you can manage your song for your band, for example, and you can decide the set list, for example, of your gig. So when you use this set list, you have already basically all the presets for your live. So this is really great. And here the set list that basically will communicate set list and songs. Okay. So for example, if I go here to song Mad and I load it, as you can see here, you create basically this kind of Footswitch to assign basically all the songs that you want. So all the presets. This is, for example, the preset that I'm using right now. Okay, let's go back now. And this is the main view, okay? Let's talk about the routing. So here, if you go to instruments, as you can see, we have different kind of routing. So the series routing, parallel 2, instrument with microphone, microphone line series, some sort of parallels, and so on and so forth, really complicated stuff, okay? So it's basically a preset of routing, so you cannot create some routing on the fly, while maybe with other kind of brand you can do that, you can create some on the fly routing. Here basically you have to decide the kind of routing you want to create, then populate with the pedals. But you can also decide after, so you can change, of course, the position of the pedals after. So if you change the routing, the signal path, okay. Then here on the output, as you can see, the various output that you can use. You can decide if you want to send to the headphones or to output 1, output 2, and also for the USB. Now let's talk about all the settings here on the bottom, and then of course I'll show you some sounds, also the sounds from the preset that you can have here with the stock. Okay, so here you have the expression pedal, for example. You can decide which kind of expression pedal you want to use depending on which kind of routing you have done. So for example, the expression 1, and you can also assign, as you can see, select expression 1 assignment. So you can decide, I want to create with the expression 1, I want to change, for example, something from the amplifier. Maybe I want to change the gain. I can do that. I can confirm it. And here is the parameter that you want to control. For example, I want to control, let's say, the volume. Let's say the volume. And here, as you can see, you have assign this kind of amplifier, parameter volume, heel 0%, toe 10%, taper normal. You can also decide which kind of slow, so the kind of curve that you can create with the expression pedal. So, and you can also add different kind of parameter to the same expression pedal. So it's very, very fast, very easy to create this. And the same for the foot switch assignment. For this foot switch assignment, so for example, if I go here to foot switch assignment, you can see all the foot switch that I've already assigned. Let's say I want to assign another foot switch. So let's go, for example, to the empty one, this one. Let's click it. Which kind of assignment you want to do? On, off, parameter change, or you want to the amp control to control, for example, the amplifier. Let's say an on, off. So it's easy to understand. I can decide which kind of pedals or amplifier. So for example, I want to change something from the, I don't know, the compressor, yeah, but maybe at the same time I want to change something also from the amplifier. And I can confirm. Then here, as you can see, the type is the on-off, the block is multi because I've decided basically multi-parameter, so it's called multi, and here, as you can see, it's called multi. I can change this. For example, here on custom label, I can change to, I don't know, amp, because I'm changing something from the amp and something from the comp. So let's choose amp comp. I don't know. Confirm, and here is written amp comp. Really easy, really fast. You can also decide the color, for example. The color for the active, let's say, for me, it's active with the yellow color, okay? So if I press, this is bypass because there is no any color because it's off, but I can also decide that the bypass for me is pink, okay? So active is yellow, bypass is pink. And as you can see here on the editor, it's also changing accordingly. How easy is it? You can also control this type of switch for the latching, or you have to press and release, so you can really decide whatever you want. Let me show you another thing. Preset settings. Here, as you can see, you can decide the preset volume, so the volume for only this preset, the signal path, the impedance that you are using, output assigned, so you can decide whatever you want for the output, the spillover, so if you want to listen the tail when you change, for example, from presets to the other presets, and so on and so forth, guys. Then you have the head block if you want to add something for the preset, and then you have here the BPM info that if you press is changing accordingly, of course, the BPM. Okay, let's listen some sound. This is a preset that I've created for clean sound. It's called Mad Crystal Clear, and you can find this on the cloud. Of course, you can decide to bypass the reverb, bypass the delay. You have this really gentle kind of tremolo from the amplifier. And you can decide also to bypass the intensity. Let's bypass also the reverb. really pristine, clear, clean sound from the Fender. So let me show you here. You can go inside on the amplifier. You can see also the visualization, the GUI of the official Fender. You can tweak as you want here on the screen, but also here if you want to tweak. It's really, really easy. Then you have, of course, here the cabinet. Since this is a combo, you have basically the visualization here of the cabinet, and also here the editor. It's all compact, of course. But if you want to go inside, here you have the speaker. You can decide, of course, the position of the speaker, this position of the microphone. Sorry, you can decide, of course, the microphone. There are a few microphones, not a lot, but I think this is only a starting point, of course. But I want to show you that you can also change the speaker from the combo. For example, you can also use a 4x12. You can see here you have lots of speaker, and as you can see, a lot of speaker from Fender, of course. You have also some Vox here, some Marshall, some Mesa, and some Friedman, Huber, so from Wagner. And you can go, for example, let's add this 4x12, and as you can see, it's changing here on the editor, the visualization. So the combo has changed to the head, because it's right, because you are using only the head of this amplifier and no more the combo. And you have, of course, the 4x12. So it's really, really great. Of course, all the sound is changed. You can customize the on axis, off axis, low cut, high cut. You can also go through the routing, swapping, basically like this. Okay, so you can see that you can change whatever you want. You have also double page, for example, for this pedal. You have here the second page. You can click it, or you can go here. I don't know where is page. You can change the page with this one. So it's really easy, and I think it's really user-friendly, in my opinion. You can also go to, for example, if I go inside here and go again to the cabinet, let's see if I can choose no, here there is no the impulse response, because this is only cabinet, but you can load the impulse response, for example, like this here with the add block. Let's say here, and let's go, for example, to IR. And as you can see here, you can load IR. I don't have any IR actually, because I think you have to load user impulse response through the Tone Master Pro Control Desktop app. So you have to do that with the desktop app. And actually, I don't know how to do that. Let's try. I want to add a block here. I want to go to impulse response, and it's telling me that I have to use the Control Desktop app. But how to do that? Maybe here? Yes, fine. User-friendly. So this is a speaker, IR Manager, so I can load with my browser, of course. I don't, stop! I don't want to do that right now. So let's now listen the second preset that I prepared for this video. This is really high gain sound. And I've prepared also different scene. As you can see here, you have the EVH, which is official, is from the Fender company. So it's official modeled. Let's listen how it sounds. You can also decide, for example, here I've prepared something to detach the amp switch. You can switch the amplifier. So as you can see, I'm switching to the Friedman. Or you can also change the scene, because I prepared this for the scene, and as you can see is changing. Let me show you the routing here. It's changing completely the routing. So from the routing for the high gain to a completely different sound. You can also decide to disengage the Octaver. As you can see, both the lower octave and the upper octave is disengaging. Listen how it's really organic, the sound. Now let's switch to the last sound that I've prepared, and it's the Mad Crunch YJM, because it's inspired to the sound of Malmsteen, basically. So it's better to use the tuner because we have it. As you can see, it's a pretty complicated routing, this one, because I try to match the warm sound, but I want to have also the attack. Of course, I don't know how to play like with Malmsteen. I can also detach the plate and the delay. As you can see here, I've used the Mythic drive. As you can see, it's basically the clone Centaur. Then I use, of course, the plexi, some noise gate, compressor, die-ball kind of cabinet, again studio, some parametric EQ. So you can find these presets on the cloud. Let's listen now the stock preset that you can find here. So let's go on the list and let's go back from the first one. The Lux Reverb. EVH. Oh, this is latching. Tremolo. Alright guys, so this video is already very long, so you have the link in the description if you want to know more about this new Tone Master Pro Fender modeler. Actually, there is no the capture feature, the tone matching feature, as you want to call it, but I think that in the near future it's possible to have it, because the routing, you have to do that. So basically you have the microphone input, you have a lot of connection for input and output, so the hardware I think can do that. So it's only something on the software that could be implemented or not. I don't know if Fender is thinking about this, but I really appreciate all the Fender kind of amplifier are there inside, because are really great, in my opinion, really well made. And also other stuff, for example, let's name it the Friedman, let's say the EVH and other stuff are really also well made. So remember that if you want to purchase the unit and you purchase directly with the link in the description from the Lucky Music website, you will receive also after the purchasing a voucher. So you will receive a gift of 100 euros to spend on the Lucky Music on other stuff that you want. Okay? So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.